right, welcome everybody to All Stars and Stripes Heroes Connection. Uh, you are all in the right place. We are here for military veterans, first responders, advocates, their families, and anybody who wants to support us or do business to business networking with us. Everyone is welcome here. For the next 55 minutes or so, we start each moment with a moment of silence, and then we have the Pledge of Allegiance, the national anthem. I will talk a little bit about what the Scuttlebutt.club is and how to invite new members with that. And then we will have our business briefs, and that will be a chance for you to give us a nutshell of who you are and about your business. You get 60 seconds. And Santa Papa John, I'm going to make you the timer again today if you are willing. And then we will have our hero highlight, and we have a treat for a spotlight speaker today. Adam will be talking to us about Prime Span. And then we have end with an inspirational thought and announcements and reminders. So let's start with a moment of silence. And now, if you are able to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Now, please remain standing for the national anthem. And let me start it over here. Oh, that's pledge. There we go.
The Star-Spangled Banner.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming across Christ's bright star through the perilous fight. Brave rusty bars were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's the bombs bursting in air, they proved the flag was still there. Oh, say does the star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. Bye, honey.
There we go.
Be safe out there.
Okay, the Scuttlebutt.club is basically our website where if you look it up on the phone, it looks like what you see on the left. If you pull it up on a computer, it will look nothing like this because it has been changed. Actually, I need to update this slide, but there is a Zoom registration link on there, and also there is a link to our Facebook group where you can also get reminders about our upcoming meetings. There is a link to YouTube on there and also to our Alignable group. There is a meeting agenda so people know what to expect when they come, and there's a link to schedule a meeting with me, and also a spotlight speaker form. If you would like to be a spotlight speaker, I just ask that you choose as many dates as you can. Makes it a lot easier for me to schedule you on our spotlight speaker calendar. So if you have any problems with it, just let me know. Reach out to me. I'm happy to help. And now here, I'm going to stop sharing so we can all see each other. And I turn this part of the meeting over to our co-host, who today is Mary Ann. Mary Ann, take it from here.
Okay, so we're going to start. Oh, well, Terry, I don't know. Are you able to actually do a
She's,
60-second? You can. Okay, so we're going to
you
start
can
with
do.
Terry then, so she can actually rest her voice then.
Okay. All righty. Thank you. Gosh, I don't know what's going on with my computer. Hold on just a second. I need to hit this. Okay. Okay. Um, okay. So it's great to be back. I had the super flu in January. I was in bed all the whole month. Now I've lost my voice, but it's all uphill now from here. So I'm glad to just be back in this meeting. I love everybody here. So anyway, I am Terry Moore. I am a body, mind, and spirit transformational coach and a national and international speaker. I'm all about helping individuals release emotional triggers from their past or even blocks that they have today that could be holding them back due to not having all their power uh, regained after going through their childhood or anything like that. And so I am I'm looking for stages where I can go speak, empower individuals. I'm also looking for book publishers. So that would be very beneficial for me right now. So thank you.
Thank you, Terry. Okay, we're going to go to Missy Newman now.
Hello, I'm Missy Newman with let me try this again, Coyote Bookkeeping, and I'm a Navy veteran, and I have allergies, so I'm going to be clearing my voice probably. Um, so I was doing a client today, and you think that the AI is going to help you so that you don't have to hire a bookkeeper. Well, there were things in the account that showed it didn't know where to classify it. I knew where to classify it, but the AI didn't know where to classify it. So, for a while at least, my job is safe. But if you think you are going to be safe with just using an AI for bookkeeping, you're probably wrong.
Yeah.
And I've seen on Facebook where they have $197 for monthly bookkeeping. Yeah, if you want your bookkeeping done in India, go for it. Thank you.
Thank you, Missy. Okay, Therese Walker, you're up.
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much. A few years ago, my name is Therese Walker, and I live in California. A few years ago, my life changed forever. My husband of a 36-year relationship was diagnosed with terminal cancer. And that 7 years later, I found that we weren't properly insured. I had never heard of living benefits. So I became an advocate to share in my community and communities across the nation that there's a life insurance you don't have to die to use. And I'm helping save middle America from devastation like I went through.
Wow.
You still got 20 seconds if you want to keep going.
Well, that was it. I'm sorry. Thank you, though.
No, no worries. Okay, thanks very much.
You're welcome.
And we are now going to move over to Natalie.
Good afternoon. I am pleased to be with you. I am a widow of a veteran who was in and out of the service before I met him. So didn't have any of the hardships of that role. I am in health and wellness, having had my life changed 45 years ago when I was diagnosed with arthritis, and friends introduced me to nutritional supplements made by the Shaklee Corporation, which is the most clinically proven wellness company in the world. How many of you wonder sometimes about how to read your blood work? Anybody puzzled by your blood test sometimes? This Thursday, my friend who is a functional medicine physician will have a Zoom entitled Decoding Your Blood Work and What Those Numbers Really Mean. I'll put my information in the slot. I would love to give you a ticket to attend.
Thank you, Natalie. Okay, Mary, you're up.
Hi, everyone. Greetings from a sunny Michigan day today. So think about your favorite photos, the ones that are near and dear to you. Hopefully you've got them backed up someplace. You might have them backed up in a cloud. However, not all clouds are the same. A lot of them are only a temporary storage site. If something happens to that cloud, your photos are gone. They own the rights to those photos. So if you want to keep those memories safe, there is one company that does have a permanent secure photo storage system, and I'd be happy to talk that over with you more. You get to own the photos, you get to control who you share the photos with. The whatever size image you upload into your site stays that same size. A lot of the cloud servers will shrink it down so that you get more space. Mary Gant, offering photo solutions, and I'll put my contact info in the chat so we can connect.
Thank you very much, Mary. Dr. Patricia, are you there? Let's give her a second. Well, maybe she's not there. Okay, what about Allison? Allison, are you there? Allison? Dr. Patricia? No. Okay, well then we're off to Angela. Angela.
Hey, everybody. I am Angela Nelson. You all know me as your host, but I am also the entrepreneur who has Starship Solutions. And I go by Starship Solutions because I do several different things to help people. And the reason I go by Starship Solutions is because the future starts today, not tomorrow. Today is when you need to be planning. And I do Legal Shield. I also do free credit repair consultations, but primarily I teach people how money works and I offer financial services, but always start with financial education. And I will tell you the reason why I do what I do is because 9 times or 99 times out of 100, when people are having problems with money of any kind, it stems from some sort of tragedy in their life. Either they weren't taught, or there was a death or a divorce or a job loss. So I
Thank
love.
you, Angela.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay, Allison, I think you're up. You're here again. Can you unmute? There you go.
Hi there. Sorry, I was trying to navigate it on my phone. I'm Allison. I work at PrimeSpan along with Adam, who's going to present today. My role at PrimeSpan is to support our community engagement. At PrimeSpan, our goal is to support older adults 55 and above with their journey on health span and longevity and transforming that into lifestyle habits that are small, easy, that provide clarity and confidence for aging. And so just kind of navigating those processes. I'm happy to be here today. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. You got 20 seconds left if you want anything else you want to say?
Yeah, we just launched our podcast on Apple Podcasts. So if you're interested to learn more about what we have at PrimeSpan, we're always kind of having some engaging topics. It's free to use it on Apple Podcasts. So looking forward to learning about everyone.
Great. Thank you very much. Okay, let's see, is it going to go? It did go. Okay. Dr. Patricia, you're up.
Okay, hello everyone. How y'all doing? I am Dr. Patricia Rogers. I'm a visibility strategist and I'm the CEO of Unity and Service. Let me say this. I have 12 years in the U.S. Army Reserves also. I always leave that out. Wow. At any rate, and I did 29 years in the corporate arena in law enforcement. So I'm an entrepreneur for the past decade. We've been hosting virtual and in-person events so that entrepreneurs like you can speak, promote your product and services, increase your leads so that you can get new clients. And we are hosting an event on March the 20th. I'll drop that information in the chat. Complimentary receipts are on us, and we are collaborating with 3 strategic partners who also have platforms. So we are looking at the word collaboration, and we're looking forward to seeing how this is going to turn out. So you all are welcome to come out and bring your links and be ready to enter the breakout rooms and do your introduction. I'm Dr. Rogers, visibility strategist.
Thank you very much. Now, Ruben, you have a guest here, and I'm going to apologize because I have no idea how to say her name. Angelica? I'm completely screwed that up. But
Angelica.
Angelica. Okay,
Yes.
Angelica, if you'd like to go ahead, you can give us your introduction.
Hi, I'm Angelica, Angie for short. I own a concierge gift shop. So we do different kinds of gifts. And we're right now trying to build towards like a job. So like the military and then towards nursing and stuff. So we're right now building like special towards each job. Right now, that's the project we're trying to do right now.
You still got 30 seconds if there's anything else you want to say.
So we basically ship throughout nationwide, and we have a website towards the gift shop. That's all I wanted to say.
Perfect.
Where are you
Thank
located?
you. Oh,
Welcome.
yeah. Where are you located, Angie?
So I'm located in West Springfield, Massachusetts. We do not have a brick and mortar anymore. We had one for a few months, but it didn't work out. But we ship throughout the United States. So,
well, put your contact information, including your LinkedIn, if you have it in the chat there. Okay.
Marianne?
Yes.
I've noticed that there's quite a few new people that's not put their information in the chat.
So
and
if you
also,
haven't, and if you've introduced yourself and you haven't put your information in the chat, please go ahead and do that. And then after you introduce yourself, put your information in the chat for so we can kind of put a name with a face.
Okay.
All right, Ruben.
Yes. How are you, everybody? I am a retired veteran, but I really have a job to do in terms of painting with veterans. They paint to heal, I paint to market. So I try to show them how to promote their artwork on Instagram. That's my fun job. My other job is helping small local businesses communicate rapidly using the latest technology that's available to them, and it's called a dynamic QR code system. Once they get this on their yard sign, on their vehicle, on their business card, on whatever that is, then they never have to reprint them again because they download the app, the One QR app, and they use their phone as a communication headquarters. In terms of reaching out, it'll tell them who scanned, where, when. It's completely a dynamic system. What I did is I use a number of different ways to build relationships. One is an old company that we're all familiar with, send out cards.
And Ruben, your time's up, so put some more information in the chat for you.
I will.
Okay, let me go back there. Okay, Jim, you're next.
Hello, everybody. Jim Paconin, your life architect. What a life architect is somebody that I work with people so that they can understand how they create their experience, and along the way, we process their trauma so they live an incredible life. And I'm going to share with you one of my success stories. Y'all heard about the Charlie Kirk assassination. I had one of my clients, his brother, and his brother-in-law was in line. He was third or fourth in line. And that afternoon, the father got a hold of me and said, we need to process all of this trauma. That night, I processed the entire family, mom, dad, the kids, and one of the daughter's husbands in a little over 3 hours, and none of them had PTSD. So PTSD and trauma is my specialty. I have a phenomenal track record. I've been coaching more than 20 years, and I love what I do, and I love it when people create an amazing life. Again, I'm Jim Paconin with Amazing Life Design.
Perfect timing, Jim. Okay, Adam, you're up.
Hi, everybody. I'm Adam. I'm from PrimeSpan. I work with Allison. We're a wellness program platform. We focus on the 55 plus community. Our goal is to expand everyone's wellness through enhancing what you call your health span. We focus on everyone's health span and increasing cognitive reserve for our members. So we do that through making sure that everyone will have a science-backed lifestyle program through our coaches and through our lifestyle design. And I'm looking forward to sharing more of what we do through my presentation later on. I'll provide some more of education through that. But thank you.
Okay, thank you, Adam. All right, Chad, we're going to have you go next.
Hi, my name is Chad. 20-year retired Marine. I own CS Designs Marketing, and what we pretty much do is we're an online marketing agency covering websites, SEO, reputation management. We also do business loans for small and medium-sized businesses, and we have just recently started selling workers' safety and training videos for businesses that need to have their employees trained in different areas, like if they need OSHA qualifications. We have the OSHA videos. If you were into any other type of environmental health or well-being, we have those type of videos also.
Awesome. Yep, you're pretty close. Got down 6 seconds left. Okay, thanks, Chad.
Yep.
Peter. You there, Peter?
I'm waiting for the music to stop.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm Peter Calvin. I'm the founder and CEO of Kayunza Global Network. We're a 501c3 charity focused on learning, sharing, and teaching sustainable agriculture to those who farm by hand. We're engaged currently in Central Africa on 3 primary levels. I would call them footings. Food security and sustainability, infrastructure by way of solar power and internet connectivity in very remote rural settings, and water management, providing potable water opportunities and working our way towards significant management water resource projects as we get the chance to evolve. Thank you.
Okay, you got pretty close. Good job. Santa Papa John.
That would be me. Click too many buttons here. Hi, folks. How are we doing today? I'm Santa Papa John, and yes, I do this year-round worldwide. What does Santa do after Christmas? I'm a storyteller, and I read stories. I make people smile, giggle, and laugh. But I'm taking it to the next level. Even, reaching out to people like Ruben, who are dinosaurs, but creative in their own way. I'm reaching out to nursing homes, senior care centers, group homes that have autistic children. I want to read stories to them because those residents deserve to smile just as much as Ruben does, and we can get them to giggle, smile, and laugh. But I also do stuff for veterans. Yes, my brain just went poof, it was gone. The Warriors Beacon of Hope. I'm creating a website. There we go. I know Angela's giggling at me. Hey, folks, I'm creating a nationwide list of services, scholarships, and meetings for our wonderful veterans. Thank you all for your service.
All right. Thank you. Okay, Joe, you're up.
Joe McKenzie, Brooklyn, New York, Navy veteran. You put it where it hurts, it works. A little dab will do you. That's it. Real quick.
You got a lot more time. You got 50 seconds, Joe. He doesn't want to talk. Okay, Greg, you're up.
Hello, everyone. Greg Boone here. I offer a portfolio of services, starting with ACN, Impact Health Sharing, More Mito, Pet Life. So with Pet Life, I help your pets live a longer life, longer, healthier life. I ended up saving my parents' dog a few weeks ago from stage 4 renal failure. And I'm also on a mission to help rescue horses. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. All right, I guess I'm last here, so I'm going to go ahead. Make sure I get you get the thing in here. Okay, so most of you know me as Marianne, the Melaleuca lady, the Lonaloo Books lady, and I do some consulting. What you don't know about me is we have a son who was in the Air Force, and my background is as an incident commander and emergency management for over 30 years. I'm there. So I look at the world a little differently, and I want to talk about heart health really quick because most people think about heart health just as one thing about cholesterol. But cardiovascular health is influenced by multiple factors: inflammation, oxidation, nitric oxide, you name it. Melaleuca has the heart health pack. Let me ask a question. If something had clinical studies, third-party, independent, blind studies that proved there was changes in your blood work within an hour, is that a study that you'd be willing to look at? We want to help people keep their heart healthy, avoid whatever they can. So text me if you want to get some more information. And I think that's it, Angela. I think you're up then.
Great job, Marianne. Thank you so much. And everybody did great with their business briefs, keeping them brief. Thank you. All right, let me get back to sharing my screen. Here we go. Everybody see my screen? Okay. Let's see here. Okay, so for the hero highlight today, Adam deferred it over to me, and I love an opportunity to be able to talk about my parents. This is my dad and my mom. They actually met in the Army, and they met on Valentine's Day. So this is a very appropriate time for me to be able to talk about them. But my mom worked in the bookkeeping, or like the HR department of the site that they were at, or the base that they were at. And my dad had just gotten back from Japan and came in to do his paperwork. And a coworker of hers was helping him. But my mom didn't see him until he was walking out the door. So the first thing she saw was his backside. And she always described that my dad was very fit. He had his suits tailored, and his shoulders were always very broad. And I'll just stop it at that. But she saw him from the behind, and she said to her coworker, "Who is that?" And her coworker was like, "Oh, well, that's Ben Nelson or John." He went by John. Sometimes he went by Ben. Sometimes can't remember which it was. But she's like, "Why?" And she's like, "Oh, he just seemed like he was really cute." And her friend was like, "Yeah, he was." And so she said, "Do you want to help him?" Because her friend was married. And she's like, I can have you help him because he's coming back this afternoon." And so she was the one who helped him, and he invited her out to dinner that night on Valentine's. And the rest is kind of history. My mom was a hillbilly, very proud to call herself a hillbilly from Eastern Kentucky. If y'all have ever seen Hillbilly Elegy, the story about J.D. Vance, it is very accurate as to what that part of the country is like. Although if you've ever seen Coal Miner's Daughter, that's really kind of more of a description of what my mom was raised like. As a matter of fact, she had a first cousin who went to school with Loretta Lynn, and she realized that the only way she was really going to escape the poverty of that region was to join the Army. And so that's what inspired her to get out. She wanted to see the world and explore. She loved to read, and she was tired about just reading about these places. And my dad, he just always had a wanderlust. So he was the football hero of his small town that he was raised in Miles City, Montana. So they were completely opposite kinds of people, but the Army brought them together and they served together. They spent some time in Turkey, and when my sisters were small, and then they came back. My dad worked as he was in intelligence and Army intelligence. And so after they left the military, they continued to travel. I moved over 40 times by the time I left home at 16 years old. So just to give you an idea, but I was not a military brat because I was born after they were in the military, but I'm super proud of them and for their service to our country. And they also were a huge inspiration for my son, Sean, who went into the Army. And so that is the hero highlight for today. Now, our spotlight speaker, I'm super excited to introduce Adam, and he is with Prime Span. And we actually, excuse my, hold on one second. Sorry about that. My phone was across the room. Sorry about that, Adam. We had a wonderful one-to-one earlier this last week, and uh, I'm just so excited for Adam to be able to talk to y'all. We had a lot in common as far as he works with older people and people who have dementia or Alzheimer's, memory care type people. And I dealt with that with my mom in her later years. And so we hit it off. And so I'm going to stop sharing my screen so that you can talk where Adam is. Yeah. Oh, I do need to make you a co-host. Yes. Let me make you a co-host. No problem. Did you get it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Adam. I'll let you take it from here. And if you could put him, let's see, what time is it? 36. Just put him at 17 minutes on the clock. You can take all of that time or part of it and take Q&A if you need to.
Want to make sure that the whole, is it a full screen on everyone's?
No, you would need to hit, you would need to do present.
First. Yeah, let me do a present first. We'll do Zoom.
And Adam's got a little baby too. Hope you don't mind my saying that, but
no, go for it.
He's a young dad. So
yeah. Here we go. Share the screen.
what are you using? Is that PowerPoint or is it something else?
I'm gonna do a single page. Hold on.
There you go. That could work.
Is that good? Hold on. I'm gonna make sure that is that better?
Yeah, we can see it. I'm not sure how it is for transitioning slides, but that will work.
Okay. Well, Angela, thank you, everybody. Thank you for allowing me to present. Just a little bit about Prime Span and what we're doing here. Just a little background of our team. When we put Prime Span together, we have one sole mission, and that's really to empower everybody who is at the age of their retirement to maintain their health span, which is a big goal, to maintain their independence. And one of the mission that we're trying to accomplish really is to, as healthcare cost is so expensive when you get older, is to help people maintain their independence. So then you don't have to go to a retirement home, which is one of the biggest expense when you when you retire. And so that's what we're one of our biggest mission at PrimeSpan. This presentation is going to be we'll try to fit it into the time, and if you have any questions, feel free to ask anytime. And the focus of the presentation really is when we put together PrimeSpan, we know that most of the wellness program out there is designed for a younger body, and we notice a gap in the wellness field, which is very important when you're looking at helping the older adult generation, because when you're designing a wellness model, most of the program, it's still designed for a young 30 years old. But when you reach a certain age, the stressors in life, what you're going through inside in your body, biology, and everything else in life is completely changed. And modern or the wellness field ignores that completely. And that will be this presentation. I want to make sure that this presentation, we're not trying to put any medical advice, and I want to make sure that if you are if you're following any protocols or anything else, we still want to make sure that you follow a doctor's advice, and that's what we always tell our clients as well at PrimeSpan. We work with doctors. When we have clients, we work with their doctors, and we collaborate with their providers, and that's what our stance is. Here's when we look at the challenges of an older adult, or actually this is for anyone who's starting to age. This is something that not a lot of people are wanting to talk about. And we call it the quiet fear at PrimeSpan. And this is something that the wellness industry typically don't talk about. They don't want to talk about this because in the wellness field, it's always about optimization. Everybody's busy about optimizing something. But when you reach a certain age, your fear is not optimizing anymore. Your fear are the following. And it comes down to stabilizing your life. The realities of aging is very different compared to someone who's trying to optimize life and their health at a younger age. And this is something that we and our team, our coaches, are very sensitive about when we're working with our clients. I won't have the chance to do a check-in with anybody, but if anybody has a concern in this, you could add this on the chat later on. But here's some of the hard truth. There's so many information out there already. When you look at, I was doing a presentation with another group this past weekend. When you look at the aging demographics, especially the baby boomers, you are the smartest generation because you've lived through all of the advancement in wellness. You lived through the Atkins diet, you've lived through the gluten-free, you've lived through all of these studies about wellness. So you really don't have information issue. And in today's world, someone was talking about AI earlier. You don't have any information issue. You actually have overload of information issue. The problem is that overwhelming issue, the overwhelm of information that you have. The other problem that we notice is that the system that everyone is using as someone's getting old is that you're using the same system that you're used to or that you were given when you were 30 or you're 40 or you're 20. And you're not adapting towards the changes that you are needing to do when your body is changed already. And this is really something that, as I mentioned earlier, not a lot of people are paying attention because no one's trying to be sensitive at the aging person's need when it comes to wellness. Here's some of the big problems when you reach the age of 55. And I'll speak on this based on experience that for the past almost 2 decades, my background is I've been an executive in the senior living field, just like what Angela shared. So is Allison. She's a leader in a community level. We worked together for the past 10 years. When you reach a certain age, your recovery level slows down, and the a lot of the things that typically even your sleep cycles, um, your digestions, all of these things can compound, but the conversation at a at when you're talking about wellness, this typically is ignored because everyone's busy about optimization. Let's optimize your health. Let's optimize what you're supposed to do. But what they're not talking about is the changes that's changed within your biology. A lot of the plans, as I mentioned, are built for young bodies. It's too aggressive. It's unrealistic. And the other problem that you have there is the recovery, which is not designed for any older adults. At PrimeSpan, we obsess on the idea of focusing on your lifespan and health span, more so on the health span idea. I'm sure you can relate that during you probably see this in the younger people at 30, those that are under 30s and 45. You can do anything you want, and you'll probably you see them recovering too quick. This is they can do whatever and they can recover anytime, and they almost just do whatever you want. You can eat whatever you want, you can work out anytime you want, you can sleep less, and you can recover the next day. Um, when you reach the age of 45, 55, you'll see those things catching up. Angela was talking about me as a young dad, as a first-time dad. My systems are crashing. I can feel that very much lately. With my sleep cycles very low, very little lately. I'm in my 40s and I see those cracking. Um, but when you reach a certain age, when you reach 55 and up, your margin of error is very thin, and you have to be mindful of these things. The breakdown when it comes to the health system that you have to look at when it comes to the effort, you have to look at it from systemizing all of this effort. It is similar to the idea that I can provide is like your body should be something like when you're designing a system, think about a car when you're driving in the middle of the rain. If you're driving a manual car, how stressful is that if you're driving in the middle of the rain? When it's raining hard and all of the stimulus that you have to go through, how stressful that could be. While there's a lot of stressors that will come to you. However, what you need to what we're trying to accomplish, when we're trying to design a lifestyle, and what we're trying to help people design when on a time span, is that to have an automatic system, a fail-proof system. And that's what really people should be designing, that even if it's raining, you have a fail-proof system that would not stress you out. Let me just move this a little bit forward. And when you're talking about health span, that helps when you're talking about maintaining your health span, this is really something that most people ignore. That's all interconnected. This is something that people, when you reach a certain age, you cannot ignore that they're all interconnected. Your sleep recovery, your cognitive vitality, your nutrition, your movement, your social connection. If one of this pillar, we call it at prime span, is not working well, it has a domino effect when it comes to your health, and it will affect you. And that is something that you want to plan and maintain. When you're talking about sleep is not just for rest. Sleep is what you should be looking for, sleep and recovery. Because when you're sleeping, there's a lot of dysfunctions that's happening. This is when we should look at it from sleep is when when your metabolic waste is clearing, hormone regulation is happening. And most importantly, sleep is one of the most important metabolic time when those plaques and tangles are actually clearing up in your brain to avoid or lower the risk of dementing disease. After 55, the problem is the sleep cycles becomes very different. And what we always tell people is don't obsess about the time you fall asleep. What we try to tell people is obsess about what you can control, which is your wake cycle. If you can maintain a wake cycle, it's far more important because that's what you can manage versus you sleeping on a certain time. Sometimes if you can if because that's what's going to signal your stress hormone to go up. That's also going to signal your melatonin production eventually. That's really what you need to do to optimize it. We also tell people that right after you wake up, you have to make sure you have light exposure. And that's something that can help someone to sleep. Movement as you get old is something that you cannot ignore. If there's something that you should never ignore is having some movement routine, which is lifting weights is one of the most important. Twice a week is what we tell people. We help people recognize that. And you look at that as it's not just for cosmetic. It's maintaining your health system. Movement is to help all of this function. It's not just for cosmetic anymore. The problem that is being mentioned and being preached right now is about walking and walking and walking. Yes, there's benefits about walking. However, the challenge in that is it's very incomplete. And it's not going to help you. I know I'm running out of time, Angela. I probably have 3 minutes if you don't mind.
Yeah, we can maybe do just to be able to wrap
2 minutes.
up.
Yeah, 2 minutes. I'll wrap it up. The problem with that is you don't preserve any of those strength, and we always tell people get your strength exercise. Your minimum requirement are what we know in the studies and in the scientific studies is 2 strength sessions per week is something that you should be looking at. And you have to have progressive overload eventually if you can. Eating, this is something that I'm sure a lot of us have seen. The most recent federal guideline was released about protein. But the reality is that is the most accurate study when it comes to what our bodies need as we age, because protein is probably the most important part of your diet when you get older. And it's really not just because of just sake of protein. It's the metabolic health that you need when you get old. And what we teach people is reframing the nutrition, because we also understand that when you get older, that the challenge of eating that much of protein can be a challenge. And we tell people, no, this is something that you need to look at it from a reframe perspective. And then here's one of the most scariest part. Most of our members, regardless of the program, almost everyone is afraid of cognitive decline, which is very important to preserve. Cognitive decline, and I have to say this, if you're only looking at puzzles, Sudoku, any of those, you're only training yourself to do one area. You're only training yourself to do Sudoku or puzzles. There's more into building cognitive reserve. You need to maintain all of this function to maintain what you call the cognitive reserve, so you avoid having the risk of any type of dementing illness. It's not, brain games is not enough for it. And this is why programs like Luminosity, they stop advertising that they're curing dementia, because they actually could not promote that. They were not enough for it. And same thing as any pills, because it's not enough. There's a whole slew of things that you need to do to maintain it. And then the most important thing, this is why I love Alignable, this is why I love what Angela is doing, is the social connection. Just seeing everybody talk earlier, catching up, that is another important thing that we all have to never leave, which is building that social connection, having that purpose. Do not lose your purpose as you age, because that purpose is what's going to keep you going. And if you lose the purpose, you lose the social connection, isolation, depression comes up, and all of these things comes in. You elevated cortisol, you have cognitive risk of being isolated, and other things that may come in. It's quite important when it comes to keeping, especially if you're semi-retired or you're thinking of retirement, always plan for something that will keep your purpose. And so if there's something that you could do, our suggestion to our members, and this is something that I want you to take away from this presentation for yourself. If you have a moment, look into having a consistent sleep, having a better training regimen when it comes to your exercise, having enough protein when it comes to your diet, and making sure that you have one social anchor that you always commit to. And if you want to hear more about things that you can do for your health, we're here to help you. And again, thank you, Angela, for allowing me to present on this. I know it took a little bit more time, and I always over-prepare. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much, Adam. Yeah, I encourage y'all to get with Adam. It's really, PrimeSpan is really interesting. Take a look at the website, and it's something unique that I think is filling a need that's out there. So this is a QR code that y'all can scan if you want to be a Spotlight speaker. It'll take you to the Spotlight speaker form. We have Anthony Pinto with Veteran Vectors is going to be here next week. And after that will be Chad. And then we have Rick Cram. It's been a while since we've heard from Rick. Our inspirational thought that we'll end on is there's no limit to the amount of good you can do if you don't care who gets the credit. that was said by Ronald Reagan. That. And I'm
excellent presentation, Adam.
Yes, and thank y'all for all being here. I'm going to stop sharing. So I just want to make sure that we ended on time. But if y'all can hang out and stay longer, and if Adam, if you have time to answer any questions, but I want to thank y'all all for being here. First, want to see if anybody has any announcements or reminders that they want to share. Natalie, I'm going to try to be on that. I just got some blood work done not too long ago, and I find that very interesting, what you were telling me. Dr. Patricia Rogers, do you have any networking things we need to know about coming up?
I've already put it in the chat. Thank you so much.
Okay, great. Great. Does anybody have any questions for Adam?
Adam.
Hi, Ruben.
Okay, Adam. As you know, Adam, I'm 80. I'll be 83 in July. Okay. And again, life goes by so fast, but then it does catch up with you. 3 months ago, I was diagnosed with GERD, GERD. And that's the body saying, hey, it's time for a reawakening. But in that process, the medical community can only do so much besides asking you for their copay. You know, we are so blessed because we have AI and the internet. We have so much information that's out there that we can verify to help us. In that process, I'm educating myself to take care of the issue. And of course, I keep my primary care involved in the process. You know, they have to make a living too. But I like the way that you formatted everything because diet, sleep, and exercise, no question about it. And again, if anybody in this room here, just take your age minus 83. Okay, that's how much time you have left to get yourself squared away. Thank you, Adam.
Well, no, according to you, you just celebrated your mom's 103rd
Oh, there
birthday.
you go. Oh, yeah.
So let's take 103 minus 60 in my case. But I'm going to stop the